Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Sean. Huge thanks to Sean and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Sean reached out asking for a group hug deck led by Sauron, the Dark Lord, and I was more than happy to help. If you're enjoying my content, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support, and if you like the deck list, consider sharing this video as well. Sauron was once a lieutenant in Morgoth's army back during the First Age. After Morgoth was chained in the aftermath of the Fifth Great War, when the entire host of Valinor fought against Morgoth's army of orcs, Balrogs, and dragons, and Ancalagon the Black was slain by Elrond's father Arendelle, Sauron went into hiding. He was a master shapeshifter and would often appear as a beautiful elf. He learned the elven secrets of smithing and jewelry making, and helped to craft the Rings of Power. But when the One Ring was forged, all of Sauron's fairness and beauty disappeared, and his true form was revealed. Sauron the Dark Lord is a 6-mana 7/6 legendary avatar horror with ward, sacrifice a legendary artifact or legendary creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, we amass Orcs 1. Whenever an army we control deals combat damage to a player, the ring tempts us. And whenever the ring tempts us, we may discard our hand. If we do, we draw 4 cards. But we want our deck to focus on Sauron back when he was fair, and helping the elven ringsmiths to forge 9 rings for mortal men doomed to die, and 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone. But as we continue, we will eventually reveal our true selves. So this deck is called Sauron, the Fair and the Foul. Before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard is always innovating, and recently they've unveiled their new Druidic Secrets boulders. Turn your deck box into a mystical place. These gorgeous boulders come in a variety of colors and patterns, like this pink-colored one, celebrating the movements of the heavens. Study the future so you can be prepared and pick one up for yourself at your local game store. Or order one on Amazon, link down below. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lanes and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. One last announcement before we get into our video. I started streaming on Twitch. I've been playing mostly Final Fantasy XIV for the first hour or so, and then switching over to making commander decks for future videos. If you'd like to see what I'm working on, check me out at twitch.tv/DanonWildfire. Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Polluted Delta, Bloodstained Mire, Scalding Tarn, Misty Rainforest, Marsh Flats, Arid Mesa, Xander's Lounge, Watery Grave, Blood Crypt, Steam Vents, Morphic Pool, Luxury Suite, Training Center, Shipwreck Marsh, Haunted Ridge, Stormcarved Coast, Drowned Catacomb, Dragon Skull Summit, Sulphur Falls, Undercity Sewers, Raucous Theater, Thundering Falls, Bajuka Bog, 4 Islands, 4 Swamps, and 4 mountains make up our land base. Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Dominance, Talisman of Indulgence, Talisman of Creativity, Dimir Signet, Rakdos Signet, Izzet Signet, Worn Power Stone, Thrawn Dynamo, Mind Stone, Solemn Simulacrum, Mana Flare, Cutthroat Negotiator, Wild Evocation, and Wayfarer's Bauble will help us to ramp out and stay ahead of the curve. Kami of the Crescent Moon, Dictate of Crufix, Noble Benefactor, Vision Skeins, Folio of Fancies, Font of Mythos, Howling Mine, Hithlane Rope, Ludovec Necroalchemist, Humble Defector, Cezanne Perverter of Truth, Jace's Archivist, Stormfist Crusader, Howling Golem, Intellectual Offering, Exhume, Tempt with Immortality, Minds Aglow, Scheming Symmetry, Vertices Maneuver, Wishclaw Talisman, and Horn of Greed help us to dig through our deck and incentivize our opponents to leave us alone. Tidal Barracuda, Chaos Warp, Wrong Turn, Negate, An Offer You Can't Refuse, Arcane Denial, Abrade, Counterspell, Bedevil, and Terminate help to keep the game moving along. Aetherize, Consuming Tide, Evacuation, Blasphemous Act, and Toxic Deluge help us to reset the board as needed. Braid's Conjurer Adept, Boldweir Heavyweights, Over the Top, Tempt with Reflections, and Enslaved Horror all help to put our opponents at ease. To win the game, we're running Insurrection, Rise of the Dark Realms, Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker, and Zealous Conscripts. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 53 mana sources split between 37 lands and 16 pieces of ramp. A little heavy, but our curve is high, so it's fine. 22 pieces of card advantage. 10 pieces of interaction. 5 board wipes, but most are bounce wipes, so it's fine. 1 piece of graveyard hate in Bajuka Bog. 2 Sudden Eye win cards in Insurrection and Rise of the Dark Realms. So the purpose of this deck is to help our opponents grow fat and happy with extra cards, extra lands, and extra permanents. They can just ramp and draw cards. And when they have a massive army assembled, we take it and win the game with their own creatures. Or, post-board wipe, we steal the creatures from their graveyards. In a pinch, we've got the combo of Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker and Zealous Conscripts. I should probably explain that one. Zealous Conscripts says that when it enters the battlefield, we gain control of target permanent, untap it, and give it haste. Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker taps to make a copy of a non-legendary creature we control. That token has haste, but we have to sacrifice it at our end step. You'll note that Zealous Conscripts doesn't say that the card we're taking control of has to be owned by an opponent. So we can just repeatedly target Kiki-Jiki, untapping him and allowing us to loop the combo. We then make 100,000 hasty copies of Zealous Conscripts and send them all at our opponents. I know this isn't the only way to build Sauron the Dark Lord, but I had a lot of fun with this build. Do you have a group hug deck? Who do you have in the command zone? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor Cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. For only $25, you too can have a Commander video built at your request. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Danny, Muffins, Marcus, Squishy, Brett, Roxy, Sean, Pob Zombie, Mark, Borgie, Nazwin, Pedro, Tom, Midge, Detroff, Rally, Frank, Alex, Jenny, Alex, Julio, and Michael. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.